Media.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 58 of Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Chaburgi, and joining me again, Derek down in Arizona, Kelsey over in the western part of the state. How you doing, Kelsey and Derek?
Good.
Good. I'm finally back again after weeks I haven't joined you guys.
Right, and people have been wanting you back.
I've heard I've been missed, so I appreciate that.
And don't forget to yell out where y'all are watching from, folks. Just let us know so we kind of keep tabs on it.
Got a lot of people here so far.
There's Hayes.
Kaylee
Sorry for the late start.
Tamara Becker.
Hey, Belinda, how you doing? Here in Salina. Newton. Norway, Kansas. I'm not sure where that's at.
Never heard of Norway.
Meade, Kansas. Southeast Oklahoma, Salina, Wichita, Illinois, Fort Scott, Newton.
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
All over the place tonight.
Junction City.
You know, I heard the most terrible story today about Junction City.
Uh-oh.
No, that article I sent you, Ricky.
Oh, yeah, that, yeah.
At work today, I ended up on the phone with this woman who just left Junction City. And a year ago, last May, she was having a get-together at her house. Her son was like 19, and his friends were around the same age. Yeah. And she went to bed around like midnight, and then around 2 a.m, 2 guys stormed the place and killed her kid and killed his best friend. And they caught him and everything, but she was telling me the story, and I just got on the news, and like it was a huge thing in Junction City. So that was really
Utah. That's our first Utah that I know of.
Yeah, and I lived in Junction City for probably a couple years, and I'll tell you, honestly, it's not the best place to live.
I've never been there.
It's right off the highway, the military base. There's a lot of different people coming through. It's kind of scary. Even my brother said when you were living in Junction City, because I lived, right by Fort Riley when my first husband was in the military. It's not the nicest place, unfortunately. So
yeah, it was over his stimulus check. They thought he had his stimulus check.
Oh my goodness!
Which he didn't even have on him.
It's crazy.
That's not the first time I've heard a story like that either, Derek.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that died over a stimulus check.
Oh, it's not even that much money. I mean, depending on what you're getting, but like, just get a job, people.
And by the way, we're not crapping on Junction City. We're just talking about this horrible story that I heard today that happened to be in Junction City.
Oh, we got one from California.
California.
Oh, wow.
Lucy Ramos. Hey, thank you for joining us from California.
Andrea says, "Yeah, it sucks here."
Hey,
we cover enough cases to know that every town in the country has its rough underbelly.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's some beautiful things about Junction City too. Well, that's a lot of people watching from all over the place.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's awesome.
Right.
I like that.
Got a good reach tonight. It's bigger.
I like how it gets bigger and bigger and more people tuning in from all over the place.
I love it.
We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, which is Periscope. So if you're seeing us on any of those platforms, share us, subscribe to us, tweet us.
Wonder if Shady Booty's going to be here.
I'm hoping Shady Booty shows up. Lots of crime. Hi from Cortland, Kansas. Hello from Newton. Hello.
Sabetha.
I've never heard of that.
Wichita.
Nice. Well, Ricky has a really good update. And I'll be honest, I did not think we were going to get this news this week. Based on how long we've been covering this case and based on how little activity there has been from this individual, I really thought we were going to get bad news on this one.
Right.
Because I mean, I've been doing this a year with Ricky. You get used to like the ones sometimes just like, man, I hope this is going to be okay. But it's been so long. But Ricky, tell him that Adriana Pack is no longer missing.
Right. I got that photo sent to me today from her mom. It right there in the picture with her, letting me know that Adriana had been seeing herself on our show, and she'd been seeing herself on Annette Lawless's Missing in Kansas segments and on the internet and stuff. And she reached out to her mom, said, "Hey, Mom, come get me." So she went and picked her up and brought her home. So Adriana Pack is back home safe.
And it just goes to show you that everybody talking about this, not even just us on the screen, but people that are viewing this show, people that share this show, people that share the flyers, it works. I mean, we essentially all together with the news, Kansas Missing and Unsolved, people sharing the flyers. Eventually we got through to this girl's head, and she made the call to be like, "Hey, I'm okay." And honestly, I'm telling you, like, I really didn't think we were going to get good news on this one. We haven't heard, nobody's heard anything from her.
Right. Yeah.
So that's awesome, man.
And I really wish both of them the best. And I hope from this day forward, they both have a really good relationship and good life together and a good reunion. And, my prayers go out to both of them. That was just awesome news to get today.
Yeah, I like that a lot. And that's, I think I said, "What the hell?" when you sent me that picture. I was like, I was like, no way.
That's exactly what I said too. I was like, what?
He's just gonna show up, huh?
Right.
Well, that's good.
It's really amazing. It makes you know that you're doing good things, Ricky.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yep. Back home where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And I love that we can start the show out with something positive like that.
Yeah. Speaking of starting the show out, it says, "I have people bring flyers about different cages to the hotel I manage. My staff and I always keep an eye out." Awesome.
That's good.
Thank you, Michelle. And honestly, the hotels are a great place to look. You know, a lot of people passing through town. A lot of.
Yeah.
And think about it. If you're somebody who's on the loose out there on your own will, you have to sleep somewhere. Because a lot of people that are missing could be in a hotel. It's like there's.
And today's also National Missing Children's Day as well. And I made a post on that earlier today, and just keep sharing and printing and posting these kids' flyers out there. All flyers for that matter, but kids' flyers, and let's help get them brought back home. What we do does work.
Yes, this is working, and we are going to cover. We don't have a huge show tonight. As far, we usually have a lot more cases, but we still have quite a few people that are needing to get home. You're watching the Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. We'll be right back after these words, covering some cases.
If you or someone you know is a victim of human trafficking, call the National Human Trafficking Hotline at 1-888-373-7888.
And this is one out of Nebraska. Ambria Hogue, missing out of Omaha since April 5th of 2021. She is 16 years old. She is 5'6" to 5'7" inches tall, weighs between 110 and 125 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed she may still be in the local Omaha area, or she may be in the Fremont, Lincoln, or Bellevue, Nebraska areas. If you have any information regarding Ambria's disappearance, her whereabouts, please call the Douglas County, Nebraska Sheriff's Office at 402-444-5804 or 402-444-6641, or the Nebraska Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 877-441-5678, or the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-843-5678. And see if we can't get her back home. It's coming up on almost 2 months for Ambria. So let's get her found and back home.
For sure.
Most definitely.
April 5th.
You're very welcome, Charlene. We do our best. We really do.
I like to think that I do most of the work. I'm just kidding.
You do the production that goes in, and you do the production work that goes into the show, and that's a lot.
Well, Ricky was sick yesterday, and he still had to make flyers.
Yeah.
How you doing, by the way, Cowboy? You feeling any better?
Yeah, a little bit, not 100%, but I'm getting there. I don't know if it's just overheated or what happened.
Probably, man. It's starting to get warm out there, man.
Yeah. Inside that building was very, very. I mean, even though the air conditioner was on, I was still getting very, very hot.
Yeah.
And you are very welcome. But
tell us about Andrew.
Which one?
Andrew.
Andrew Llewellyn. That was one that I ran into on KBI's website yesterday and felt like he needed to be covered. He's missing from Wilson County, Kansas since May 12th of 2011. He was 42 when he went missing. He would now be 52, and I apologize for my phone. 6 foot tall. He weighs 165 pounds. He has blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. He was last seen in Wilson County, Kansas on May 12, 2011. He's never been heard from again. Few details are available in his case. Again, he was 42 when he went missing. He's now 52. He's 6 foot tall, weighs 165 pounds, has blonde or strawberry hair and blue eyes. And if you have any information regarding Andrew's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Wilson County, Kansas Sheriff's Department at 620-378-3622. or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And let's see if we can't get him found and hopefully found safe. I mean, it's been 10 years, but anything's possible. So let's hope for the best.
Wow. I literally was just looking at the May 12th part, and I was like, oh, he's been gone a couple weeks.
Yep, he's been gone for 10 years.
Jeez.
Hello from Lubbock, Texas. Appreciate all the work you guys do getting these kids home safely. Hello, Robin down in Lubbock, Texas. Thank you for joining us tonight.
My niece is in Lubbock for like the summer. Lubbock's big. I never knew Lubbock was big till my brother moved there. And they're like, it's bigger than Amarillo. I'm like, what? I thought Lubbock was like a small town.
Everything's bigger in Texas, Derek.
This is true. This is true. Let's talk about Breanne Lee Miller. Now, we've covered her recently, right?
Who's that? Yeah, I was contacted by her mom again, and her mom asked me if I heard anything new, and I said no, and she asked if I could reshare her flyer, and I said, sure, no problem. So, yeah, I do want to get her out there again. Breanne Miller, missing from St. Louis, Missouri, went missing on July 26, 2020. She was 21 when she went missing. She's now 22. She's 5 foot 4 inches tall, weighs 135 pounds. She has brown hair and hazel eyes. Her tongue and ears are also pierced. She went missing. Was last seen in South St. Louis on Dolores Street. She has a tribal heart tattoo on her right bicep that says love, a tattoo of the name Rob on the right side of her neck, a tattoo of a heart on the left side of her chest, and a tattoo of two hearts on her upper left thigh. She was last known to be wearing a pink short sleeve top and white jeans. If you have any information regarding Breanne's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the St. Louis, Missouri Metro Police Department at 314-231-1212, or you can call the Crime Stoppers hotline anonymously at 866-371-8477. And let's see if we can't get her found. It's coming up on a year here in just a couple of months. So really want to get her found. Hopefully she's still out there safe somewhere.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, definitely. You're very welcome, Nicole. Thank you.
It's never good when any of these cases hit a year mark.
Yeah.
But it's always good that, we hear Adriana's case today, like that's one where it shows that like it's okay to have hope.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes it's easy to get hopeless when you're dealing with people you can't find, But
yeah,
I think the Adriana Pack thing today was a real shot in the arm of like, hey, get in the game. This is they're out there. There's people. This is working.
Right.
Now we've covered Deidre before too, haven't we?
Yeah, but she's recently gone missing again.
Okay, well, let's talk about Deidre.
All right. She went missing from Topeka, Kansas this time. She went missing on May 19th, so just a few days ago. She's 17. She's 5'4" to 5'5", 140 to 150 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. It's believed she still might be in Topeka or she may be in the Lawrence area. And if you have any information regarding Deidre's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get her located again. We definitely need to get her found back to where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And there again, Deidre, you're 17, you're almost to 18, get back to where you need to be and do this the right way, And there's a process, and you need to get with it and follow the process.
That's true.
Yeah. And Dennis Rubel, awesome work, guys. Thank you, Dennis.
And honestly, when you're younger, for me anyway, to me, like any kind of control seemed foreign, and also it seemed like, I don't know, just I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why there were things like processes, and why there were things like how like proper protocol to do things. It's like, well, we all just wake up on a spinning rock, can't we do whatever we want? It's like, not really. It's like there are processes, and the older you get, DJ, the more you'll realize that although it does seem like we have a bunch of rules as humans, it's really to protect us, and it's really to help us get further down the road, as far as just accountability and all that stuff. So like Ricky's saying, you're almost done with the whole childhood process. You're about to be an adult, so go back, do it right, and then choose to have a great future. Put your best foot forward and do things right, and you're in control of your life. You have the option to do whatever you want.
Definitely. And Dennis Rubel, he just started a search and rescue organization that he's working on, and he's working on some searches. He's doing some searches in some areas on some cases. And I was talking to him the other day, and I'd like to get him on a future show as a guest to talk about what he's doing and where he's doing it at.
Link him up.
I will do that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, we love working. Yeah. Thank you, Trisha.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate that. Any information? That would be Ryan Larson. Last, I was just checking that earlier, just right before the show. They're draining a lake, Papillion Lake. They're draining that lake to try to search for him. Apparently, they've had search dogs up there, and they've hit different places on like 3 different days, but they're not sure whether they're human hits or not. So they're kind of checking that area out to see if they can find anything. And then, like I said, they're draining the lake right now too, trying to get it drained to look some more. Yeah. And Curious says, thank you, Dennis. And Dennis says, sounds awesome, guys. Thank you. You're welcome, Dennis. We'll get that set up. Our next show is going to be June 3rd, so maybe we can get you on that show. Let's shoot for June 3rd if that's okay with you, Dennis, if you're free that night.
Okay. Yeah.
And I changed my calendar to May. I don't know if you can see it behind me, but see it says.
Finally, now that we're almost over with May. Goodness.
Yeah. I just like April so much, I wanted to keep it around longer. Okay.
I'll let you have that.
Let's talk about Hope.
Okay. And we've covered her before too. I wanted to cover her again, mainly because the picture second from the left with the blonde with the green in it, that was her most recent hair color. And then I managed to get a hold of that picture. But she's missing from Olathe, Kansas since May 11th of 2021. She's 15. She's 5'4", 215 pounds, blonde hair with light green in it. Like a reference again, that second to the left-hand picture there. She does not have her prescribed medication, and she was last known to be wearing a gray hoodie, gray or black sweatpants. She may also be carrying a light gray backpack. If you have any information regarding Hope's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Olathe, Kansas Police Department at 913-971-6363 or 913-782-0720 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Hope found and back home where she needs to be.
Yeah.
And she's been gone exactly 2 weeks today, so see if we can't get her located.
And Hope, if you see this, like Adriana saw this, anybody that's over the age of 18 that's letting you stay with them right now, actively breaking the law, and they know it. So That's the type of character that you're with right now. Somebody who knows that they're actively breaking a law that they will get into serious trouble for, and they're okay with it. So just to let you gauge the temperature of the room that you're in. If you're staying with somebody over 18 that is just cool with you being there and not telling anybody where you are.
Yeah.
So that take that for what you will.
Yeah. Yep. And here's a comment for Kelsey. Kelsey, you're pretty.
You. Thank you.
Oh, she's smiling. I can see her in the behind the scenes.
Yeah. I would concur with that.
I would too. We have the prettiest co-host here at KMU.
Yeah.
Now she's really going. Now she's no, I'm just kidding.
I think she's blushing now.
Ricky, you haven't called me pretty in a year. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I'll leave that to the females to decide.
Oh man.
All right.
Let's talk about Casey Steiner.
Okay. She's actually a new one that I did today. Missing from Topeka, Kansas since May 22nd of 2021. She's 18. She's 5'5" to 5'6". Weighs between 185 to 220 pounds. She has brown hair that has been dyed jet black and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Casey's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get her back to where she needs to be also. It's been gone just like 3 days, but that's 3 days too long.
Yeah. I don't understand is there we go. Thank you, Alicia.
There you go, Derek. You feel better?
Aliens are taking these people. Okay.
You never know, man. You never know. My wife turns it off all the time. We have this thing where like I know exactly where my wife is right now. Like she's at her brother's house, and unless she left her phone at her brother's house, and then now she's out living with another man or something. But like her phone is at her brother's house, Ricky. Okay, but like right. I don't, and I think maybe parents try to do that, but like I just don't see how. I don't know. Like they should make it to where that's not an option. Like you shouldn't be able to say yes, I'm traceable or not. Like if you have a phone, if you're gonna have the responsibility of having a phone with you. And this is probably like some treading on people's. I just feel like we have too many people that we can't find that are probably holding a smartphone. You know what I mean? Like there should be a way to over govern that and track people down. But yeah, the Life 360 app. That's what we use. And the reason I got it is because my wife's really bad about not answering the phone, and she'll be gone for like 8 hours sometimes for work, and I have no idea where she is. She doesn't answer her phone for like 5 hours, and she's a case manager for adults with disabilities. So she's very busy. But if I can't find her for 4 or 5 hours, I freak out. And I'm like, I have no idea if she was in an accident. I have no idea where to start looking. There's no way. You can't just call the police and be like, is my wife okay? They're like, we have no idea, sir. This is a humongous city. So that Life 360 app, like I know at least where her phone is all the time. So like it just makes me feel a little better. And then also like if anything were to happen, like I actually know what's going on, so right. I just if you're out there and you have kids and stuff, download that Life 360 app and tell your kids like, hey, you can turn the locator off whenever you're 18. But from now, as long as you're under 18, you have to keep that locator on. I need to know where you people are,
Yeah. My ex actually had that on my daughter's phones, and I don't think it was Life 360. I think it was a different one, but it was supposed to be one of those things where the kid could not uninstall it from their phone. It was supposed to be, but my 14-year-old daughter figured out how to uninstall it from her phone.
Of course.
Yeah. She did figure out a loophole to uninstall it, so she took it off her phone. She took it off her sister's phone.
I just want to try. I know that I don't know. It's just my daughter's 13. Yeah. We don't pay for it. It's the free version we have. Yeah. Honestly, like, and anybody that doesn't want to be on it, in my opinion, is doing shady things. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to leave it there. Like my dad's like, I don't want to be on that. I'm like, what are you doing, Dad? He's like, nothing. I just don't want you guys to know where I am. I'm like, what are you doing, Dad? But he's like, I don't want anybody to know where I am. I don't want the government knowing where I am. He's 60. But It's I don't know. I think if you're cool with it, I think that those applications where you can see where the phone is, at least, I think that's really helpful, keeping people just sane, knowing where your loved ones are.
Right.
Now, this name, is you sure this Nathaniel? I've never.
Yeah, that was the name, Nathaniel.
Okay. I've heard Nathaniel a lot, but never Nathaniel.
Yep, Nathaniel Solis Jr. He's missing from Topeka, Kansas since May 23rd of 2021, so a couple of days. He's 17. He's 5'8" to 5'9", weighs between 160 and 180 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He left home on foot, and it's unknown if he is still on foot or if he got a ride from somebody. He was last known to be wearing a black Adidas hoodie, blue jeans, and red Nike shoes. If you have any information regarding Nathaniel's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Topeka, Kansas Police Department at 785-368-9200 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And let's see if we can't help get him back home to where he needs to be.
Yeah.
There again, 17, almost 18, just need to,
But like we talked about earlier, though, like a lot, even if you turn 18, it's depending on certain situations, like, you still have to be accounted for.
Right. And going back to the Life 360, her son pauses his location on his Life 360. Only thing I hate about it. Oh,
yeah.
That wouldn't be good.
My wife turns it off, and I'm like, honey, what's the point of having it? She's like, it drains my battery, and I haven't left. It was during COVID. She'll turn it off because she doesn't leave the house for like a month, But then that one day she has to go, she forgets to turn it on. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I'm a little suspect of the whole situation. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Okay. We got a couple more left, everybody. Let's talk about Peyton Cloud.
All right. Peyton Cloud. That's a new one I just did today, too. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since April 26th of 2021, so almost a month. She was 15 when she went missing. She's now 16. She's 5'3" to 5'4", weighs 150 pounds. She has red hair, but it may be dyed black, and she has brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Peyton's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't help get Peyton found since she's been missing for a month.
Yeah. She had a birthday.
Yeah, she did. It was in April. So not long after she went missing. So, yes. Hopefully we can get her found back to where she needs to be. I mean, 15, 16, that's, it's too young to be out there running the streets. Especially a place like Wichita, not knocking Wichita, but I mean,
any big city, you don't want you don't want to be 16 out in a big city by yourself, and not knowing who to trust and everything.
Yeah. Right. Definitely.
Yeah. That is really sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us about Richard.
That's one that I ran into on KBI today too, that I felt like I needed to do one for. And as soon as I locate his flight, there it is, way over there. Okay. He's missing from Overland Park, Kansas. Went missing June 22nd of 2017. He was 38 when he went missing. He's 42 now. 6'4". He weighs 240 pounds. He has red or auburn hair and blue eyes. He, like I said, he went missing from Overland Park, and he's never been heard from again. A few details are available in his case. If you have any information regarding Richard's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Overland Park, Kansas Police Department at 913-895-6300 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him located because it's coming up on 4 years next month.
Wow.
So he's been missing for a little while.
That's sad.
Yeah. Hopefully he's okay wherever he's at, and he's just deciding to take a break for a while or something.
Right.
I don't know. But yeah, looks like we have about 3 more left to cover by my count.
Okay. We have Tanaja.
Yeah, we've covered her before, and bringing her up again because I've added some new photos to her flyer. The one on the very far right-hand side, and I don't know if Derek can get them on screen, but there's a couple at the bottom. She's missing from Kansas City, Kansas. Been missing since March 15th of 2021. She's 17 years old. She's 5'2" to 5'4". She weighs between 100 to 145 pounds. Black hair and brown eyes. It's believed she may still be in the local Kansas City, Kansas area, or she may be in Topeka. If you have any information regarding Tanaja's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't get her back to where she needs to be. Here's another 17-year-old. She just needs to go back and handle things the right way. And it's not going to be too long before she's 18, and be out there as an adult, and you can do what you want. But for now, let's just get you back to where you need to be and take care of business and do things the right way. And keep hoping by adding these new photos that that'll help get her located. Like the different facial expressions and things like that.
All right.
Make it easier to spot her. I agree, Carrie. I agree. Yep, so sad. It definitely is.
Got a couple more cases for you guys, and then we do got a locator safe reel to end the show. It looks like it's going to be a short show for the first time in months.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be a little bit longer, but a couple that I had made last night were found today. So
right,
we have a lot of thing, which is a good thing. Yeah. It's always good when they're found.
We got one more case that we were normally going to cover, and then tonight Kelsey's going to go in.
This is Adriana Pack's mom right here.
Oh, awesome.
You are very welcome, Marie. I'm glad she's home with you. I hope she's doing well.
That is awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we got one more case we're going to cover, and then we're going to cover an unsolved homicide. Kelsey's going to tell us a little bit about what's been going on in that. There's some new developments as far as what's going on with the family and some news and stuff. So, Ricky, tell us about Tony right now, and then we're going to talk with Kelsey about Dana R. Hupfer.
Okay. This is actually a silver alert out of Independence, Missouri. And where is her? Oh, there it is. And she's been missing since May 8th of 2021. She's 71 years old. She's 5'2", weighs 117 pounds. She has blonde hair and blue eyes. Blue eyes. She walked away from an adult group care facility located in the 1800 block of South Sterling Avenue in Independence, Missouri, in an unknown direction at about 2:30 in the morning. She was then seen at about 4:38 in the morning on May 8th, walking westbound on 24 Highway at Northern Boulevard on the south sidewalk. She was later seen continuing westbound on US 24 Highway at Ash Street at 4:53 in the morning. She was believed to be last seen on May 8th around 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the 2300 block of East 12th Street in Kansas City, Missouri, asking for tarps and blankets. It appeared she was wearing a light blue or gray zipper hooded sweatshirt, light blue jeans, and a mask. If you have any information regarding Tony's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or the Independence, Missouri Police Department at 816-836-3600 and see if we can't help get her found and back to a safe place. Hopefully she's still okay wherever she's at over there in Independence or Kansas City. Yep. Sorry about that. Phone again. Yeah.
It's a part of the show at this point.
Yeah, oh, definitely. What's Nietzsche
Well,
saying?
Kelsey,
See
huh?
what Nietzsche's saying over here. Interesting case. In case you missed it, Supreme Court denies Columbia man's request for death by firing squad. Justin has faced the death penalty since killing 3 people at a Columbia convenience store in '94. Johnson's execution was halted in 2015 when a U.S. Supreme Court ruling asked the lower court to review his case. Interesting.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Dana, Ricky, and then Kelsey's going to talk a little bit about what's been going on.
Okay. Actually, I was going to go ahead and let
Kelsey, you want to go ahead and read this one? I forgot.
Yeah, we'll let her cover that one.
Okay. I guess I kind of was trying to think of how to start with this one. And when I first started doing Facebook pages, Dana was one of the ones that I just really felt kind of connected with. And you guys know I have Dana and Catherine Adam and then Tabitha Brewer.
Mm-hmm.
And all of those are pretty much unsolved homicides. I mean, Catherine still is considered endangered missing, but we can kind of figure, the amount of blood that she most likely was murdered. But Dana, once I moved out to Kansas, I wanted to start focusing more on, cold cases. And been doing a little bit of work on my page, Kansas Cold Cases. And I spoke with Dana's mother quite a bit. And basically, the story with Dana is, she was found murdered. And it's coming up on 22 years now. June 18th will be 22 years that, we haven't had any answers in her case. There's been, some controversy, like people have said things, but we've never got a solid answer, and I have several reasons for why I think that is, but recently with Dana, like I said, I speak with her mother quite a bit, and she's not in the best of health right now, and she's been given about 4 to 6 weeks to live. So me thinking, being Memorial Day, like we need to bring up her case again, maybe that'll spark something in somebody and they'll, speak up. Dana was a great person. She was unfortunately, a victim of addiction and had problems with addiction, but she loved her family and was very loved, and this one, like I said, always touches home for me because I speak with her mother, quite often. And hearing the news about how Renee's health is doing just, struck a nerve with me. And I thought, hey, maybe we can bring up her flyer again. And also it's coming up on her 22 year that it hasn't been solved. So, and the family is offering a $2,000 reward for anything that leads to the conviction of, who's responsible for her death. So, this is one of the cases that really, I don't know, I really got into and dove deep into. Like I said, spoke to her family, watched the interviews. So, it's always one that I'm just partial to. So, and I think we have our certain cases that just really stick out with us. And I was really hoping, by making the video, again, a lot of the cases that I deal with are cold cases that don't have a lot of social media or any media at all. And they're kind of pushed to the side due to, whether them being in trouble or whatever the case may be. And, I was really just hoping that we could, get some answers for her. So.
Mm-hmm. Were you wanting to cover some background on the case, or, do you have her information there handy, or you want me to cover
Oh,
that,
yeah,
or?
the flyer as far as. Okay, I'm sorry. Did I kind of?
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So do you want me to just read the flyer or?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So basically on June 18th, 1999, Dana was 25 years old and she was found, really badly beaten. And she was almost unrecognizable. She was killed in Wichita. So she was 25 years old when she's killed in Wichita at home in Great Bend. She has, 2 children now. I'm not sure on the exact ages, but at the time they were 8 years old and a 7-month-old baby boy. Renee stepped in to raise the grandchildren. Every year they used to take trips to Wichita to, make sure Dana wasn't forgotten. They'd hang flyers, and walk around the neighborhood. And, you know, the last few years, you know, they hadn't really been able to make the trip. And now more so because, you know, Dana's mother is not in great health, you know. So June 18th, again, is the anniversary of, you know, when Dana was found. We're coming up on 22 years. And, you know, the daughters had just said before previously in interviews, you know, just knowing who she hung around with and, you know, hoping someone would come forward so we can have that closure, you know. And as far as I know, the case is still open. But again, this is one of the ones, like I said, that just, you know, it's been so long that there hasn't been any media or anything. And that's my whole purpose, is to kind of create the Facebook page and, you know, get it shared, you know, just like you do with the other missing people, Ricky. You know, we share it. The more we share it, the more it gets out there.
Right.
You know, so, I mean, Dana did have a lot of troubles in her life, you know, but she really was a great person. And if you watch the video that I made on the Kansas Cold Cases YouTube, you can tell how much she was loved. And, you know, they just want some answers for her. You know, it just really breaks my heart, you know, what's going on with her mother right now. And that's why I asked her tonight, I was like, is it okay if I speak on this, you know, on the show? Because, you know, I've done a lot of work into making her video and trying to share her flyers and just trying to get some answers for the family. Because I know, you know, not only her mother, but then, you know, her 3 children and, you know, and her sister really loved her too. And so, and like I said, there's a short video if you watch on Kansas Cold Cases about, you know, Dana, and it goes into more detail and talking about her family and stuff, and just what a good person she really was. And unfortunately, you know, she fell into the life of addiction. And I think that's why, you know, nobody ever really spoke up, or maybe the police didn't take it seriously, you know, things like that. So,
right. Yeah, and sadly, when it's an individual that does have those kinds of demons in their closet, sometimes law enforcement doesn't exactly take it seriously.
Right. Well, and not only that, I think the people that she hung around with too didn't really, you know, like we always say, Derek, you know, people don't really want to rat people out either because fear of retaliation, or just fear of the police in general, because they're doing something that they shouldn't be. You know, and they don't really want to talk to police because they're afraid they're going to get in trouble, you know. But again, like we always say, you guys can remain anonymous. Nobody has to know that it's you.
Right.
You know, these are mothers and daughters and granddaughters and sisters, and, you know, they have family. They want to know what happened to them, you know, have closure, have somebody, you know, held accountable for, you know, what happened to them. Because that person's still running around on the streets. They could or have done it to somebody else too. You know, they need to be held accountable for that. And just like I said, just talking with Dana's mother and just, you know, she was really such a sweet girl. And that's why she ended up with the problems that she did, is because she went along with everybody and she wanted to fit in.
Right.
She wanted to be accepted, and, you know, and she just hung around the wrong people and they took advantage of her. So I just, you know, like I said, making her video and sharing her flyer and having her page for her, I was just really hoping, you know, after all these years, someone would be clean and come forward and just, you know, speak up to give her mom and her children that closure. Because I know, you know, I see things that her mom posts every day, and she just really just wants to know what happened to her, you know, so she can, you know, eventually rest in peace. And so.
Right. You know, and if anybody does have any information regarding Dana's murder, please call Detective Rick Craig at the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181, or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And there's also a $2,000 reward being offered for information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for Dana's death. So that's out there as well.
And if you're not comfortable reaching out to, you know, law enforcement agencies or whatever, I encourage people, you know, reach out to me through her page or be anonymous. You know, I'll forward that information on as well, you know, because I want answers for her family.
Right.
So
it'd be nice to get those answers for her family, especially with, you know, the information that you were just sharing about Dana's mom. And
you know, there's also another reason why people don't snitch, and I think it's It's because there's no. So say, okay, let's just use Dana as an example. So somebody killed Dana, right? We're all in agreement to that. Somebody on this planet killed Dana.
Right.
So now, say that person went on to do something good, like have a family or do something. You know, I'm just saying, like, sometimes I've known situations where people didn't tell on somebody because they were like, I want justice to happen for them, but I don't want to ruin their family's life. I don't want to ruin that person's kid's life. Their dad's going to go to jail. You know, people are afraid of setting off that chain of events that completely stops. Because, you know, Dana got murdered that day, but whoever took her life, they started a journey that day with Dana that they're going to take to their grave if they never get caught. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something they're taking with them forever. So I see sometimes like people just don't want to start trouble. Like if I tell on this person, there's going to be such an onslaught of things that are going to happen. Like people are going to, somebody might lose a spouse, somebody might lose a dad, somebody might, you know. So I feel like that it's just such a messy, complicated situation where you start being like, yeah, what they did was terrible. But if I say something, then it's going to end their life, and not only their life, it's going to end everybody that cares about them. So, I mean, it's the thing is like at the end of the day, anytime like a homicide or anything takes place, like it's not just one person dying.
Right.
Everybody involved dies somehow. Everybody involved somehow. Even if they never get caught, whoever did this, unless they are like a sociopath, is probably thought about it every day for the rest of their life. You know, it's like, so it's just one of those things. Like, if you're out there and you're watching this and you have any of the reasons that we've all tried to come up with on the year of doing this show of why somebody wouldn't say something when they know something, I'm not mad at you. I get it. It doesn't make sense in your head to say anything, but just look at her. She had nothing to do with the equation, and she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only person that matters in this equation. All the rest of it is just details.
Right.
Dana is the one who is, you know, matters.
Yeah. I like Roxanne's comment there. It says, if anyone watching and are listed is missing, call someone as soon as possible. There's so many things that can go wrong with the way things are anymore. If you know anything, please call Crime Stoppers. No one will know who you are. So important. And I agree with that.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. And yep, Nisi, I brought that up earlier in the show. Today is National Missing Children's Day. That is very true. Yep. So share those flyers, share the show. You know, let's get them brought home.
I have a feeling we need to show this guy's face. Ricky, you want to do one more?
Oh yes, thank you. It's another one that I'm working on too.
Yeah, let me grab his flyer real quick. I forgot.
Take your time, man. The longer we have his picture on the screen, the longer I make some dirtbag uncomfortable. That's fine.
Yeah, you're definitely making people nervous with that because there's been people that have been speaking out and saying things. So
yeah, this is going to get interesting.
Yeah, Alexander Perez. He's missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st of 2020. He's 35. He's 5'11", 235. Black hair, shaves it bald, and brown eyes. He got a hold of a family member on the phone on December 1st and said he'd be coming over to do some laundry. He never arrived at the family member's house, and he's not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. And he had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed that he may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may still be in the Garden City or surrounding areas. Again, he's 35, 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, black hair that he shaves off, and brown eyes. He has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. He also has Perez tattooed on one of his arms, and he also has that tattoo going across his collarbone there. If you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500 or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department, 620-356-4600 or KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get him found and back home.
this is another one where I've actually spoken to his family as well. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I haven't seen his mom on the last couple of shows. Usually she comments and lets us know she's here, but I haven't seen her the last couple of shows.
Yeah, I haven't either, but I have seen, her post a little bit on Facebook because I am friends with her. So
Right.
I'd just be taking a break from it. I mean, we're talking about December here.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's 6 months of nothing. Well, not nothing. A lot of stuff actually, on like social media and stuff. But yeah, 6 months.
Right. But with
Mhm.
him, that's the thing that his mom actually did tell me is, he would maybe, be gone for a week or two at a time.
Right.
But to be gone this long with no contact because he does have a son, he would eventually show up. So that's why
Right.
since December,
Yeah.
we're going on almost 6 months now.
Almost, yeah.
It's just very, very unusual for him.
Yeah, it is.
But you never know. You never know. I still have hope that, maybe one day he'll show up and,
Yeah. Let's hope so.
Well, this is the best part of the show. We're going to show you our located safe reel, and then we'll do a little bit more when we get back. And you're watching KMU Podcast.
Yeah, and I want to kind of expound on Nikki was saying, remember, there's no official waiting period to report a person missing. And that's true. There's not. I mean, every now and again, I'll run into a family member that says, oh, my missing loved one's an adult, and they told me I have to wait 72 hours. No, there's no waiting period at all. You can have that report filed immediately. Well, actually, the way that the statute in Kansas is written is that when any law enforcement agency in Kansas receives a report of a missing person, they have to take and file a report immediately, have it entered into NCIC and on KBI's website within 2 hours of filing that report. And I've talked about this before. The differences between the adults and the juveniles is with adults, when they're located, if they don't want their location known by law, police don't have to reveal that location. All they have to say is, we've found them, we've talked to them, they're fine. They just don't want their whereabouts known at this point. With juveniles, yeah, they have to, bring them home, bring them back to where they need to be, stuff like that. But I've had some people in the past tell me that, because they're an adult, they can go missing if they want to, and they're not going to file a report. Well, by Kansas statute, they have to. I mean, like I said, the only difference is they don't have to tell you where they are if that person doesn't want their whereabouts to be known, but they at least have to still do the report and file it. Not trying to, I'm not talking down on law enforcement or talking bad on law enforcement. I have the utmost respect for law enforcement, and I always will. But just want to let you know that there is no waiting period to file a missing persons report. I want that to be known. But anyway, and I do like the located safe reel. It always does, does my heart good to see those located safes, and to make those located safes, it's good. Makes me feel good. And here's another one from Nisi Outdoor Enthusiasts. Solve cases. That's very true. Matter of fact, that skull that was found here in Salina, actually almost a month ago now, I think, was actually found by mushroom hunters. So yeah, that is very true.
Really?
Yeah, it was actually found by mushroom hunters.
Still no word on that one, right?
Still nothing yet on that one. I'm still waiting.
And we still haven't heard about the one in Mitchell County either, have we?
I haven't heard anything on that one either.
I'm assuming the forensics on that skull probably takes a while.
Yeah. And I don't know exactly what they meant by top part of the update on the news article I read was supposed to be the top part of the skull. And I don't know if they mean it was just the actual top or from here up, missing the
Right.
lower part of the jaw. Don't know which that meant, but hopefully they can extract DNA from it to try to identify it.
Do they have Catherine DNA?
I don't know. I don't know if
You
they
would
took
think they
any.
would have some from the crime scene.
Well,
You would think
you would think
blood
it would
that
have
was
took.
in her van.
You would think they would have took samples of it and put it on ice somewhere. You would thought. And seeing Vista Lida said, "Good to know. I always thought you had to wait." And Belinda Vance said, "I always thought you had to wait." No, you do not.
No.
Yeah. And Alicia Perret. Here's the case out of Wichita that's been unsolved for quite a while. I'll look into that. I will look into that.
Send that one to me too.
I will. I will do that because I would like to see this in regards to. I'm curious.
That is very loud.
Sorry.
Sound like you were like scratching a record.
Ricky, stop touching your mic.
I was turning the foam on it. Didn't mean to do that. Sorry.
Well,
Alicia, can you kind of give us a heads up on who that case is about before we look into it?
yeah.
Because I'm going to have to go into the comments and copy and paste that into Google and see who that brings up.
Tim McGinnigan? McGuigan?
McKeegan. I'll have to look and see on that one. McGuigan. I'll have to look that one up and see. I'm keeping a constant window up on Google for Ryan Larson up there in Nebraska to see if any new developments come up. And so far, nothing, just that they're draining that lake. And hopefully they will find him because it sounds like he had been planning this little deal that's going on here because he'd done searches for how to avoid being seen by police, how to live underground, how to avoid being spotted.
Wow. So he might be fine just hiding somewhere.
Yeah. But the fact that it's been over a week makes it a little scary, yeah. Okay, Tim McKeegan. I've actually done a flyer for Tim McKeegan in the past. I will have to see if I can locate it on my jump drive, if I made sure I transferred it to that jump drive and cover that on the next show. And we'll have to look at that.
She says, Kyler, yes, trying for a new trial is BS. Women are not safe if he is ever freed.
Yeah, I hope he doesn't get a new trial. He just needs to just face the facts that he's guilty and deal with it. Because he knows what he did. He can deny it all he wants, but he knows what he did. So I saw during his trial, he was actually trying to pin it on his brother that I believe committed suicide or something like that. He tried to pin it on him, saying, "Oh, he did, I didn't, he did." Yeah. So hopefully that conviction will stand. As it needs to. Well, I want to thank everybody tonight for joining us and hanging out with us and going over these cases with us. And, it's been a good show. And a lot, again, I can't say enough about the good news I got today regarding Adriana Pack. That was really good to get that. It really makes me feel good.
Yeah.
And she's back home safe with her mom, and
she's safe.
Yeah, that's good to know. But thank everybody again for joining us. And Nisi's saying he tried to blame it on his brother, but the brother committed suicide while he was incarcerated. Yeah. And Marie is saying thank you so much. Marie, you're very welcome. And let Adriana know that, we're glad she's home and safe, and we'll keep her in our prayers, keep you in our prayers, and hope you guys are doing well and continue to do well. And Brooke Dennison's talking about Alex head still hasn't been found. Last seen January 15th, 2019, Enterprise, Kansas, 510, 135, Lonnish Brown. I do have a flyer up for him on the page. We'll be sure to get him on the next show as well. Yes, you are correct. I believe they found his truck abandoned someplace, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, we will look into Alex's case on the next show as well. Making my little notes here. And then we get our next show.
I can at least get this picture up for a second. We'll cover the case next week, but I can at least get this picture up.
Yeah, there he is right there, Alex Michael Head. Yep.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah. Been missing since 2019, January 15th. So it's been over 2 years. So almost 2.5 years, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get him covered in detail next show, which like again is June 3rd. So everybody be ready for that one.
Yeah.
But until then, again, thank you everybody for joining us and hanging with us tonight and covering cases with us, and hope to see you all on June 3rd show. Until then, you guys have a good night. Stay safe. God bless, and we will see you then.
Well, I don't think it, I thought it, that's different. I said what I said and I meant it, or lamented. Words given weight without thought, and a person the way that I talk and the way that I ought to be able to pause and to say that the fault can be placed on my arm, to display for the salt, to disgrace in its arm. Pray for the day they could wait for the calm. You can't control the storm, only weather it, whether it's 5 weeks and 5 days of rain sideways, or scorched earth, search for death, or water left with all the thorns, with the petals gone, settle on the breath of autumn. If the ground fits, wear it, the crown fits.